Here we go again. Right, let's go. Today, talking about personality. Okay, so I did this test probably 3 months ago now, and if anyone knows about psychology and has heard of the Big Five, essentially, you go through a bunch of questions, and then you're put on a scale across 5 personality traits. So you can remember the 5 personality traits through the acronym OCEAN. So openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. So I jumped into it, and these were my results. So let's bring it up on the page. Let's see if this works. Here we go. So here's the 5 traits. So openness, agreeableness, neuroticism, extroversion, and conscientiousness. And essentially, it puts you on the scale relative to the rest of the population. Now, and of course, it's only as good as the answers that you provide, the questionnaire. But if you are truthful about your answers, then it tells a bit of a story. So with my openness, I'm about at the midway point. Agreeableness, I'm more agreeable than not. Neuroticism is an interesting one because it's essentially how easily I get rattled, and how easily I give into negative emotions. And I was super low on this. So people who are low on neuroticism tend to be resilient and confident. So that's pretty cool. But I was also at the very high end of extroversion. I'm outgoing and energetic, and I tend to hang out with a lot of people. That's where I naturally fit in. I don't tend to do well by myself often. And then I'm pretty conscientious, which means I tend to work hard. If I think why I'm at 75% rather than 100% is because I tend to be quite messy. But if I have a goal, I try and put 110% into it. So quite interesting. It's quite cool to understand yourself a little better, and what this test does is it also tells you your strengths and challenges, and also gives you advice about what career could fit your personality, which is kind of cool, and also talks about relationships. So by understanding your personality, you can actually learn a little bit about yourself, but also how you fit into the world, and how you can actually play to your strengths and figure out what sort of environments that you thrive under, which is always a good thing, and also understand why you might not thrive in other environments. So you should always try and figure out what makes you tick and why you orientate your life the way you do. And by taking one of these tests, it allows you to just orientate yourself a little better. And I find psychology quite interesting because you can learn a lot about yourself, but you can also understand why others go about life a certain way, because often we only see life through our own lens, and so we tend to think we're the average, but because that's the experience that we have all the time, right? But this isn't true when you extrapolate these traits at a population level. Often you'll find that in certain traits you're at the extremities, or maybe you are in the middle, but you won't know that unless you actually take a test like this. So it's quite interesting. You should always try and play to your strengths, and try and improve your weaknesses where you can. Get in environments where you do thrive, so that then you can jump from level to level, and you can keep hitting those goals. So quite interesting. If you haven't taken personality tests before, often they can give you information that you wouldn't have previously thought about. I've taken a few in the a few in the past. Like I've taken Myers Briggs, I've taken Hexacode, now I've taken the Big Five personality test. So there's a few out there. Do a bit of Googling, see what happens, and you might be surprised with some of your results. So that's thought of the day. Understand your personality. That's all from me. Peace.